Welcome one and all to Making a Difference.tv. It's been a while since I've done a show. My name is Brian Porter, and today my guest is one of my hosts on the network, Amanda Pinkerman. Welcome to Making a Difference, your network, Amanda.
Hi, Brian. Thank you for having me on with you today. I'm very excited to be here. I'm looking forward to good conversation.
Me too. Let me just shut my phone off here. I thought I had all my phones shut off, but another one's ringing. Yeah, so you're quite the YouTube video maker. You do a lot of shows. I'd say almost one a day. Maybe we should just let people know what you're doing on Making a Difference.tv.
Okay, so I am, and it's not switching, you notice. I have my YouTube channel, Pinklight 999, and really my intention has been to put out my journey of awakening, coming into awareness, shifting in consciousness. And so, yeah, I put out a show if I'm inspired. So sometimes I do it every day, and sometimes it might be a week or two in between. But generally, if I've just had a great experience, I like to share it to help other people on their path.
Yeah, you're very intimate. You talk a lot about your daily experiences, which I think is really neat. It shows you have a lot of courage.
I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, you're not afraid to show your frailties. That's beautiful.
No, because we all have them, and that's our shadow side. So the way that I believe we get through this is we bring our shadow forth and we process it, and we're very honest about it. And the more we all can do that individually, the more we will heal the planet overall.
Love it. Yeah, it makes sense to me. So we spoke about this like when we first met. I said it would be awesome if we showed the movie Astral City. Chico Xavier, well-known medium, psychic healer, who just recently died in Brazil. He this is one of his main books that was put into a movie, and it actually, he says, this is the real. This is for real. This is what it's like to go down a level and to go up a level. And in the spiritual world, and I thought that it's full of. I mean, I just love this movie. If I ever get down or a little bit overwhelmed, I like flipping this movie on, and I find it extremely inspiring and rejuvenating. So let me see if I can get share screen to work.
Excellent. Yeah, I think you shared with me the movie in February, and I watched it probably sometime in March. And it's a very spiritual movie. It's very in depth. I liked a lot of things that I thought it portrayed things very well. So yeah, we'll watch it and see what comments we can make. I tend to believe it's more part of the third density experience. When you're in this realm, that's probably where we go in between. But moving on into fourth and fifth density, I'd have to say I have no idea because I don't remember being there as of right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot, and it's got like floating cities and that kind of cool stuff going on. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me just set this up and see if we can get it to go. Let me know if it's coming through at your end.
Yeah.
Looking good?
Looks great.
Okay, here we go, folks. Astral City. Amazing movie.
acordar de um longo sonho. E logo descobri que não pertencia mais ao mundo dos vivos. Me deparei com uma surpreendente verdade. A vida é fonte eterna que passa por diversas etapas. Acordei numa dimensão chamada umbral, uma espécie de purgatório. E minha história estava apenas recomeçando.
Vem cá, meu filho. Vou cumprimentar o papai, a vovó. Beleza? Agora sente-se aqui, para tomar seu
Perdi toda a noção de tempo e espaço. Sentia dores no corpo e dores na alma. Eu era um joguete de forças que não podia compreender. Todo meu conhecimento seria incapaz de me ajudar naquele momento. O sonho se transformou em pesadelo.
brinde.
Mariana, já terminou de estudar?
Sim, papai.
Pode brincar. Ao relembrar o passado, vi que nem sempre as aparências indicam a realidade. Por vezes, o nosso lado sombrio se esconde numa falsa imagem de tranquilidade.
All right, I thought there's a good place to stop the movie there, Amanda. You still with me? You see me again?
I can see you, but I don't think it moves between you and me.
Oh, it's going back and forth here at my end.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's going back and forth. Yeah, the way it should. Yeah, I know you're busy down there. Your home is, all the kids are home now. It's summertime and all that good stuff. So anyways, getting back to the movie now, it's pretty cool. Andre Luis, who's he's shown as a child in the beginning. Then he's showing later. Now he's basically going to be in this character for the rest of the movie as an adult male doctor. And he goes to purgatory. This is something that's well talked about in most religious texts, the Bible, it's in the Vedic texts. How does that read with you, Amanda?
Well, it's based on obviously the life choices that he made coming from an unconscious stance. Obviously, when we come into this third density reality, we're veiled and we don't remember what we're here for. So absolutely, there would seem to me there'd be a time of reflection for the choices that you made. And he seems more to be, I guess, stepping forward into the movie, he's more service to self than he is service to others, even though he has that role as a doctor, which you would think would make him a service to others. That doesn't necessarily mean that that was the path he was taking with his choices.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like that interpretation. Yeah, I believe in purgatory. I believe in hell too. I think the problem is that you want to visit there for short times when you're in this realm, in the third density. You don't want to stay there. You don't want to get sent there because your life has been full of ego and, like you say, service to self versus service to all and others. So I thought, yeah, this movie is pretty cool because it sort of bridges the gap that's the illusion that there's some separation between Western and Eastern thought, in that really, I mean, it really is, there are things going on spiritually that are talked about in the West and the East. And I see that, I think one of the major reasons that Luis came here and Chico Xavier was to try to bridge that gap between Eastern and Western spirituality. What do you think of that?
I'm not as familiar with Chico as you are. I think he's, I still think, and so, because I've read a lot of different books, to me, and just if you want my personal opinion, it's coming at it from our human mind concept still. So almost keeping it in like how we define reality or how we define experience. I'm sure that it's not identical to this, but it's a good interpretation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people have had, what are they, EBEs? Early
body experience or
early deaths. What's that term they use? When you die, and you come back.
Oh, yeah. So the other, book that I read.
Nice places. They go to nice places. He went down to the lower realm because he was living an insincere, inauthentic life. As you say, he thought he was serving. He actually thought he knew medicine, but he finds out later that he doesn't. But let me just say a bit about Chico. Chico Xavier was well-known TV show interviewee. He was very well-known in Brazil. He basically was someone that every day he woke up, there were 40 people at his door. He channeled through the relatives that had passed away. He healed people as best he could. He wrote 300 and something books. He gave all the money away to charity. He never charged a cent for any help and healing he offered people. So I would say he's a modern day saint. So what he talks about and writes about, I think it's worth listening to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I enjoyed the movie. It did speak to me. I felt like I learned from it. When I'm trying to join that with, I've read a bunch of Journey of Souls, and those are like where you're hypnotized and do past life regression or regression into the space where we experience in between deaths. So nobody in any one of those, nobody went into a purgatory-like experience that's being described. So that's just, I mean, I absolutely believe purgatory is a possible option for us. So I think this, in that sense, this movie portrays that nicely. But yeah, I've not found it in other writings as of yet.
Well, it's certainly in the Bible and the Vedic texts and a lot of others. But like I say, not everybody has to go there. Peter Bregan, who's a fairly regular guest on Coast to Coast, he's sort of one of these a new age psychiatrist. He's into everything from multi-manifestation, and he's a pretty interesting guy. He said most people go to Umbral when they die because we don't live sincere lives here anymore. We're pretty much all lost in the dark. So most people go there for a short time. I'll tell you a story that happened in my own life. It relates to my mother, who recently passed about 6 months before she died. She told my sister, I saw Dad in the hospital. Now, we'll see later. We'll just put the movie back on in a second.
Yeah, we got to get to that point. Let's share that story when you get to that point.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I don't want to give it away. You're right. Okay, here we go back to the movie, folks. Let me just get it going here. Is that good?
Mas dia
beautiful.
Great.
E nunca é tarde demais. Obrigado, Ana Sofia. Até quarta-feira.
Muito obrigada. Doutor?
Por favor, hein?
Nossa, tá bom. Tudo bem mesmo?
Tudo bem. Na planície devastada, eu apenas sobrevivi. Sem destino, sem respostas. Respirava, sentia fome, frio e medo.
Tudo bem?
Na hora do desespero, quando não tinha mais forças, todas as esperanças pareciam terminadas. Eu fiz a única coisa que me restava.
Me ajudem.
Não sei quanto tempo durou aquela súplica que vinha do fundo da minha alma, mas fui ouvido.
André. Deus. Me ajude. Pelo amor de Deus. Pelo amor de Deus, me ajuda. Me tira daqui, me ajuda. Jesus. Yes. Só chegou, né? Vamos levá-la. Precisamos alcançar a cidade sem demora. Vamos. Vamos para o Ministério da Regeneração.
O senhor não seria melhor as câmaras?
Não, ele vai ser um bom menino.
É bem-vindo ao nosso lar.
Guarde suas forças, André.
Olá, André. Como está? Meu nome é Lísias.
Lísias, que lugar é esse?
O que lhe parece?
Eu nunca vi um hospital assim.
Não na Terra, por enquanto.
Aqui não é a Terra? Quem são vocês? Por que aconteceu aquilo comigo?
Todas as suas perguntas vão ser respondidas no tempo devido. Combinado?
Você não vai me dar medicamentos?
Com licença.
Afinal, eu estou morto ou não?
Morto? Se o corpo morreu, André, apenas isso. Não se mexa. Agora você pode comer a sopa. É de primeira. Olá, André. Melhorzinho? Gostou da sopa? Pelo menos tira aquela sensação de fome. Com certeza deixou mais bem disposto.
Líderes, eu preciso de explicações.
Muito mais bem disposto, pelo visto.
A gente tratando o paciente. Preciso receber informações sobre a minha saúde.
Por enquanto, precisa receber apenas o tratamento.
Não sei se você sabe, mas eu sou médico. Eu sei o que aconteceu. Eu me lembro do hospital. Você não sabe o que eu sofri quando descobri aquela doença. 40 dias internado, minha mulher, meus filhos me vendo sofrer fora a vergonha. Aí acontece o impossível. Eu morro e acordo naquele lugar horrível, ao lado daqueles monstros.
Nossos irmãos, ainda que não se vejam assim.
Irmãos, você enlouqueceu. Onde está aquele senhor que me encontrou? Ele é seu superior. Alguém precisa me dizer alguma coisa. Não estou consciente.
É remédio.
Onde?
Coloque na boca. Tente mantê-lo na boca o maior tempo possível. Pode fazer bem. Sem engolir. Obrigado. Sem engolir.
Fala. É água. Engula.
Eita, é mesmo, olha só. Muito obrigado. Ainda bem que você me alertou, viu, senhor?
Há quanto tempo você estava assim?
Eu só sei que desde que eu cheguei eu não tive mais momento de sossego aqui, viu? Logo eu que nem acreditava em vida após a morte. Lembro que eu estava no meio dos meus livros, aí de repente me vi fora do corpo. Aí meus amigos chegaram e me levaram para enterrar. Aí perdi de mim mesmo, sabe? Aí acabei no inferno, e como eu sofri. Eu ainda fico me perguntando Eu não sei se eu estou sonhando, mas também se isso aqui não for sonho, quer dizer que Deus existe mesmo, né? E se Deus
Oi,
não...
beba.
Mas eu acabei de beber água aqui, rapaz.
Beba mais, você está precisando. E não pense 2 vezes. E não engula. Fica assim umas 5 horas. Estou com sono, eu preciso dormir.
Talvez assim possa pensar na vida que teve na Terra. O ceticismo termina quando se acorda no mundo espiritual. O amigo parece ter compreendido o significado da água, a água da paciência. Agora já sabe. Se pergunta as reclamações, água.
Dizes, eu não vou parar enquanto eu não souber tudo o que está acontecendo.
Quem sabe não teremos algumas respostas.
Olá, André. Meu nome é Clarício.
Clarencio, antes de tudo, obrigado por ter me resgatado. Eu não gosto nem de pensar no que eu passei. Um pesadelo, uma injustiça.
O que eu posso fazer por você, André?
Eu preciso de explicações.
Ah, claro, é compreensível. Depois de todo sofrimento, mas lamentável que tenha vindo pelo suicídio.
O quê? O senhor não sabe o que o senhor está falando. Eu jamais faria isso.
O corpo espiritual guarda um histórico de todas as ações praticadas no mundo material.
Então deve mostrar que tive uma doença que me tirou a vida.
A sua doença é o resultado de uma lei maior.
Que lei?
Ação e reação.
O estado mental é determinante para a história do ser humano.
Eu não sei do que vocês estão falando.
Quando você poderia imaginar que raiva, ódio, inveja, egoísmo, intolerância fariam parte de um diagnóstico?
Além do mais, os órgãos do corpo somático possuem incalculáveis reservas, mas não podem suportar ano após ano de maus tratos. O seu aparelho gastrointestinal estava completamente destruído por excesso de todos os tipos.
Bem, o termo é autoexplicativo. Um ato realizado durante longos e longos anos, o resultado é um só. Suicídio inconsciente.
Eis aí uma explicação para tamanho sofrimento.
Centenas e centenas de criaturas deixam a vida na Terra pelos mesmos motivos todos os dias.
Okay, let's stop it there. Lots of content to talk about. Let me get you back here. I can see you. There she is. Yeah, I made a whole bunch of notes there. First one I wanted to mention was the royalty down in purgatory. The message I get from that is it's not a good place to be. It's not a good life here to be pretending that you're superior to others and have that sort of control over others, like a slaver in a sense. Is that what you got from seeing the queen down there, or somebody dressed like a queen?
Yeah, I agree with that. And when you are in control of other people, you're manipulating, or that's the negative path of being in service to self and not service to others. So it doesn't surprise me. To me, I always believe, yeah, that will take you down a negative experience from this realm, from this planetary experience. So when you cross or pass, you will be more in that negative space than you will be in the positive.
Exactly. Now, nightmares. Do you think nightmares might be a trip down to purgatory when we're in, our bodies here? We're dreaming, have a nightmare. Do you think it?
I don't know. Actually, I'd never considered it. To me, dreams are very prophetic. I believe that a lot of my dreams are primarily lucid, so I am actually experiencing it in another dimensional realm. So, I mean, a nightmare, I don't know that that's a trip down for me in my belief system as much as it is a processing of maybe unconscious things held within us that we aren't willing to see, and then they're brought forth in the dream state.
Yeah, the nightmare to me is just a scary thing. Usually it's a scary, intense kind of thing. So for me, I don't have nightmares very often. I used to when I was younger, but I think there's a good chance it could be a trip down into purgatory for a lesson.
But do you think kids really, because I mean, I remember my kids going through a lot in a period of years where they had nightmares and they were having experiences. So, you know, I'm not going to, kids really go into purgatory, but I think maybe they're processing past life experiences or other realms of the soul that they're not quite aware of. And then they're working it out sometimes in that other mind of, you know, state of being.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not always purgatory when you have a nightmare. I'm just saying, I think sometimes it is. I think he most of this time he was going down there was he was sleeping some of the time anyway. So
you're saying, oh, you mean in the movie, like where
yeah.
it's being shown that when
the main characters, yeah. He's the one who kept going in and out of purgatory before he passed over. Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. And then they claim he was a suicide. Somehow they knew that, eh? That's kind of interesting. But somehow they spirits down.
I mean, you could be an alcoholic, and that's a slow form of suicide, right? You could smoke cigarettes, and I hate to say it, that's still a slow form of suicide because you know that it's negative for your body, and you're putting something into your body that is not creating it into a healthier space. So a lot of things are doing that we wouldn't in our everyday practice think was suicide because they hung themselves, that would be an obvious suicide. But our lifestyle, and you know, I say that to people now, I'm like, well, that sounds like a slow form of suicide to me. So, and I think it was really interesting where they got into the fact that, you know, really the emotional and what he was doing on an emotional level was manifesting physically into the body. And that's a lot of the work that I do, where I try to explain it's always going to come forth in the emotional realm first and then manifest physically into the body. And they got into somatic. And that's important when we are living a negative life. If we are full of anger, hatred, negativity, that's like bringing dis-ease into our body. So of course it's going to manifest physically as an ailment, consciously or unconsciously.
Very well said. I completely agree. Yeah. A lot of people are running around making themselves sick because they're not dealing with issues of importance. Now, this is something that really touched me in the movie, was the fact that they came to pick him up from purgatory and bring him up. I call it hospital heaven. He calls it our home. When he was at his deepest point of sorrow and digging deeply for answers. This to me is something that we all have to, most people need to learn to do here so they don't have to go to purgatory. What's your interpretation of that? I think that's very profound.
Well, so you're saying when he surrendered finally and was seeking for guidance and wisdom is when he was finally picked up, because he really was still remaining, it would seem to me, more an ego prior to that. So once you let go of control and you surrender, then they felt that he was more willing to probably receive the information they had to impart to him.
Yeah, it was his first profound spiritual experience that he'd had in his whole life. If he'd had them sooner, he wouldn't have ended up there. Yeah, I think that's what they're saying in the movie. And then that ties into the lessons they talk about later, about the fact that when you live an unauthentic life and you put a lot of stress on your body, that, you know, it comes back and it's considered a suicide spiritually, which is, I never thought about it that way until I saw that movie. So for me, it really comes just pretty cool. And I think in a lot of ways, we're committing suicide, not just personally, but collectively with the planet. That kind of ties into my message about needing to respect the Mother Earth as our first mother and, you know, appreciate what she offers versus destroying it. So I think it ties in with my message too.
Yeah, I think I can see that. And, you know, there's many different layers to get into in that aspect of, you know, about respecting the planet. And we're really, on a path we're taught not to respect the planet. And when you have that spiritual awakening, you come into awareness that you really are one connected with nature and earth, and that's essential. And until you have that epiphany or that moment of awakening, you're really stuck in the realm of the materialistic world. And that's not what we're here for. That's not the purpose of our time on this planet. It's really more for the soul to expand, grow, and create. And we are being told we can't do that. So we get stuck in this material hamster wheel.
Beautiful. Thanks for the vibration. I felt a lot of truth in what you just said. When I hear truth, I vibrate. It's a beautiful
oh, I like that.
gift I have. And that leads to the next point I was going to make about the green energetic healing. And you just sent me some, actually, which thank you. This is something I experience quite often, and it shows in the movie. I find it interesting that it's green, because we all know, people who know how to eat properly, that green is big. So I think plants are spiritual in and of themselves, and the green in the plant is actually represented in the movie. Do you pick up? Do you see it that way, or do you have a different sense of it?
Well, when you talk about green, I see the heart chakra, and so when you talk about a green coming, to me, it's like a ray from the heart coming forth and healing. And that really is what being in the third density is about, is learning to open that heart chakra and experience more of that. And, you know, when you talk, that's interesting, because I had a reading last year with the Elohim, Michael Elijah, and in that they said that they saw this massive field of green really coming upon Earth at this time. And they felt that there was a lot of green around me, and I would be absorbing this and coming more into that heart-centered space. So, and it brings forth abundance, and not in the sense of a materialistic abundance, but say, you know, more of abundance of gratitude and love and appreciation, so, and compassion. So that was a very interesting thing for you to say. And absolutely, I think plants and animals and trees are all a being. They're alive and they speak. We just need to tune into their vibrational frequency. And I think primarily as a human species, we're kept at a much lower frequency band where we don't think that that exists. But as you raise up the vibrational frequency scale, you're more in tuned. I speak to my animals. I know what they want, and my plants respond to me when I am giving them attention. So yeah, it's all vibrating at a frequency. It's all consciousness.
Yeah, I just saw I've got these little bunny rabbits running all around my yard now, because we had a nest this spring, and every time I see one of these bunnies, it fills me with love and appreciation for Mother. And I believe that this reconnection that I have made, and I hope others will make, is really going to help our souls, because it's one of the big lessons. If we can't appreciate what we have here in this realm, we're not going to go to the next realm. That's the message I'm getting. We've got to appreciate Mother Nature. She's our real first mother. And the green represents Mother in the healing, in the hands that heal. And I think there are people here who have that ability, right, Amanda? Do you have that ability to heal with your hands?
Yes, I can heal with my hands. I haven't been doing it a lot, but I've been told I need to do it more. So I actually did it with the Native American who performed the ceremony. And I was talking to him, and my right hand got really hot, and I was like, where is your ailment? So I asked him and it was funny because he thought I needed to touch him, and I don't need to touch. I'm like, no, I don't need to touch it. I don't need to feel it. I just feel the energy. So I started working on his lower back with my hand, and he felt it come straight through his body and out his hands, which was amazing. And so we were stimulating and moving the blood and moving the chi, and I was explaining this. And I'm starting to do it more with my kids, and I'm offering it more with other people, because I know it exists and it's real, but it's a giant leap of faith to go out there and want to share it with other people. Definitely.
And I was making a comment, and you were very smart in telling me to hang on to it. But just before my mom passed away, she told my sister, I wasn't with her, but I wish I had been there. But she said, it's funny that mom said that she saw dad in the hospital, you know? And so my interpretation of that is that my dad went down for a while, and he actually, for quite a while, it's over 10 years since my dad had died, and he came back. He's now up at the next level. I call it hospital heaven, or our home in the movie. And my mother herself, both my parents had a lot of issues with being very caught up in the material world, trying to fit into the consumer kind of society we've devolved into. So yeah, I think they have some spiritual lessons to learn. And my mom was there a lot when she was.
When your mom said she saw your dad, where was your mom?
She was talking to my sister, and she spent her last year in a home for a long-term facility. She couldn't walk anymore, so I couldn't really take care of her here.
No, I know. I'm just trying to I was trying to determine whether what she was projecting was whether she felt like she saw him in her hospital room where she was, like she saw him in the hospital, meaning like he was there visiting her, or she saw him in another space of his own where he was being cared for.
Well, my interpretation is that she saw him where Luis was in the hospital, up at the higher realm, and that he'd spent a fair bit of time. Both my parents really had issues, as most of us do. We've been put in a very bad schooling system that's taught us to love things more than we love Mother Nature and each other. And it's a tough time to ascend spiritually in this realm right now. So, but we can rise above.
I was actually reading an article on that. The school system is not designed to teach. It is designed to program and prepare humans to integrate into the current system, right? It's just repeating. It's really not expanding. There's no creativity. You just have to memorize and regurgitate. And so I was reading an article on that. I always work on deprogramming my children after they go in, and yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, sometimes it's hard to homeschool, but I definitely think the parents that are doing that are making a move in the right direction, because homeschooling it's becoming more and more normalized now. And yeah, that's something it's a lot of work, but I want to get a homeschool going on making a difference, because I think that is the key, is to educate the children about how we can live here in harmony with each other and with Mother Nature. And that's the journey we're all on right now. It's certainly the journey I'm on. Mm-hmm. Now we're getting into about an hour now. You said you had only an hour today.
Yeah, unfortunately I only have an hour, and I'm about to leave town. So got a lot on my plate today.
I bet. And you're going on a nice summer vacation with the family. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to really getting back into nature, disengaging from electronics, doing a digital download, or just cutting out, and just integrating where we go up in the northern aspects of the United States. It's very much in nature and just reattuning ourselves. Beautiful.
Okay, Amanda. Well, thanks so much for joining me on Making a Difference.tv. And whenever you get a chance later, we'll continue to watch this amazing movie. I'll post it on the YouTube, a link to it, so people can look at it on their own. But I strongly recommend that people watch this movie and maybe come to the same conclusion that I did, that we have to all start again. Yeah, re-examine our lives and our priorities. So, love you.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great day.
Okay. Have a great summer.
Thank you. You too.